Today, I want to talk about Stalker. And I don't mean the Stalker that's outside your window right now. No, I mean Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl. If you're a veteran of video games, you know that this game has been a long time coming, and I really mean a long time coming. It was originally announced in 2010 as a sequel to Stalker, the original, but was pushed back all the way to now due to several different hurdles, a change in staff, financial issues. I mean, the list goes on and on as to why this ended up on the chopping floor. But even for AAA standards, it's rare for a game to climb itself out of the grave that is development hell. So I was really intrigued to play this one. I was curious as to what they had to offer, and I'm going to break down my feelings on it today. So first things first, optimization. One of the main reasons that this was delayed so long was that there was definitely optimization issues that they were trying to level up with the changing hardware and software of the modern age. And I mean, I have to say, it's definitely not the best optimization around. Even with a Radeon RX 6800, it's reported the average FPS is around 50, even on medium settings. There's also been reports of the occasional stutter, audio glitches, and visual oopsies that you definitely don't want to see in a game like this. I mean, especially considering the gameplay, which we'll get into later. Overall, the consensus is that while the game's performance is currently serviceable, it requires further patches to optimize better for board or hardware settings. It's playable on low settings, but it's not as fun and definitely not as pretty. And on that note, let's move on to the visuals, because I really want to hit on this point. This game, when running at high settings, medium settings, looks really, really good. There are some areas like the poppy fields or even in the garbage location that were so visually stunning that I had to just stop and stare. This is something I love seeing out of a wasteland apocalyptic type game because they're not working with a setting that's easier to awe the player with. The world feels expansive, and seeing things that catch your eye often just gets you more excited to play more of the game. Which leads me to gameplay, the main meat of the dish here. If you're familiar with Fallout, then you're pretty much familiar with Stalker 2's gameplay. It's similar in the sense that you're wandering around a wasteland trying to scavenge what you can to survive. Only in Stalker, it's more tuned to the survival aspect and less to the story, which really fits well with the setting. I mean, when I'm in this wasteland, I feel like everything can kill me at any time. They have these anomalies that essentially will do things to you like light you on fire, throw you into a tornado that shoots you up into the air and basically takes all of your health, static shocks you. I mean, the list goes on and on of things that can kill you in this world, and that's exciting to play through. Ammunition is scarce, which makes you think twice before pulling the trigger. And then they have these annoying ass vanishing monsters that just slap you across the head like you just got a fresh cut. The world is dangerous, and that feeling of anxiety is what really fuels this game. The gunplay feels very impactful and very fast-paced. Again, if you're a fan of Fallout, then I have to say this is really what we wanted from Fallout 4. Not to get into Bethesda and their nonsense, but with a game for a similar setting, I have to say they really outdid their competition. Before we get into the story portion of the game, I really want to talk about the developers. Stalker 2, for me, at least from what I've seen, is a lot more than just a game that was released. There's an hour-long documentary on the process of making this game throughout the several years that they worked on it that really outlines the dedication that was put into this project. It's important to shed a light on actions like this from a development company team because it is something that is very scarce in the AAA standard. When a project is put in development hell, it is easier for a lot of developers to just move to another project because it's not paying the way they want it to pay. The outlook is not going as it was planned, so it's easier to just walk away. But the level of dedication and the level of love that was put into this game is something really worth shining a light on.
Але ми переносили реліз вже декілька разів. Це як у кішок. Якщо у них 9 життів, то це наше 9. Це останній шанс, який у нас є.
I'm glad Stalker 2 is getting the respect that it deserves because I think it is a triumph in video games, and I'm very, very intrigued to see what they do next. All right, on to the story. The story for this game is very, I wouldn't call it particularly groundbreaking or particularly amazing. That being said, I want to hold my tongue a little bit considering I haven't finished the game yet, but it's obvious to me that the focus was mainly on the world building rather than the direct A to Z story that most games cater carefully. Bringing Fallout and Bethesda up again, I do think that they have them beat in the story department, at least when it comes to 3 or New Vegas, but I mean, it's understandable. That's where their bread and butter is. It is an RPG leaning game, and they definitely sacrificed a little bit on the back end to make that possible. At the point I'm at the story right now, though, I'm not struggling with motivation to play the game or anything like that. I think the story is very motivating. I think that the overall concept of it is strong. A veteran of the Ukraine Marine Corps who has returned in a 3-year deployment in an unspecified conflict. Wink, wink. In the opening, he awakens to find his apartment has been destroyed by an anomaly that has mysteriously appeared outside of the zone, leaving an unknown artifact in its wake. The game is basically you getting down to what that artifact is and figuring out what exactly it does. Again, it's motivating and it's captivating, but it's definitely more captivating to explore the world, more captivating to upgrade your weapons and your gear, find new shit, and those two together really make for a strong gameplay loop. Overall, Stalker 2 is easily one of the best that this year has to offer. It shows a very good understanding of world building, solid gunplay and gameplay mechanics that ultimately make one of the best apocalyptic games, I think, of all time. If you agree with me, let me know in the comments. If you disagree with me, let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. I make videos every Sunday, and I'll see you next week. I know this video was a little bit shorter. I just want to make sure that these reviews are not overstaying their welcome, and really my videos in general. I want to make sure that I'm not overstaying my welcome. I've been trying to find that happy medium, so thank you for working with me.